I know it. Yeah. My niece's daughter is in Hawaii.
Thank y'all for coming out. As you know, I start on time. I don't
I ain't mad at
mess around too tough. Good to see you. We're gonna go over a few things today, mostly safety and bike maintenance and how to change your tire, the ABCs of a pre-ride inspection, in case you didn't know. You can go ahead.
I'm talking about this the real instructor right here.
Hey, Debbie, keep me talking class.
Now, before we go on a ride, all jokes aside, there are some things that everybody should always check before we go on a ride. And those things being, of course, your tire pressure. If you can press your finger more than a thumb, if it gives more than a thumb can press on it, you need to put air in your tire. That's subjective though. If you're a person like Reg who has a soft butt and he don't like his tires too hard, the lowest pressure you are recommended to run these bad boys is 80. The most you can do is 160.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That's only if you're a professional rider. Professional riders run at about 160. I run mine 90, 100. I want more on the back and less on the front. There's a reason behind that. Y'all excuse me, I got my son in school doing something on the background. The reason behind that because I want a softer ride on the front and a firmer ride on the back.
Oh, okay.
If you're concerned about speed, again, the higher the pressure, the faster you're gonna go. That's the first thing you're gonna check before we go on a bike ride. The second thing being your brakes. My brakes will pretty much stop literally on a dime, front and back. As a rule of thumb, if you hear any noise when these bad boys are spinning, that means your brakes are scrubbing and you're gonna work harder than you need to when you're riding. The young lady that was riding with us yesterday, her brakes were scrubbing as I was riding beside. She had disc brakes, and it's a different sound with disc brakes and rim brakes. Disc brakes do like, rim brakes do like, almost like a grind, I guess is the best way to describe it. I don't even know how to make that sound.
Rim brakes like it's a rub.
Yeah, it's a rub. Whereas this, you can hear that metal to metal. It's almost like your cars. I mean, it's almost identical to the way your cars sound. So you definitely want to check your brakes before we roll out. And your chain. You really want to just make sure, I do this on my car, that it shifts through those gears while you're shifting it and spinning. That's all you're doing. Make sure it goes all the way down and back up. I forget the young lady's name. Had she done that yesterday, she would have noticed before we left that her gears weren't shifting. She had to ride the whole ride spinning because
you're talking about Kimmy.
Because it was stuck in her easiest gear. That's one of the reasons why you have to check your air, your brakes, and your chain. That way you don't have no problems going down the road. Now, what's not part of that list but should be your lights. Headlight, preferably you want it on flash mode. You don't want it pointing like this because it points directly in the driver's eye, as you see. You want to point it angled down because we're only doing it so that that driver can see you coming down the road. We're not doing it to see. At night, yes, you bring that angle up slightly, but you still don't want to bring it up too high. There's a second reason I found out, the reason why you don't want this too high. People that suffer from seizures, this will trigger a seizure. I did not know that. Somebody pointed out to me on the Silver Comet about 2 weeks ago. On the back, of course, you want your red light flashing as well. I strongly recommend that you get lights that are rechargeable. Batteries, these things are burning through them. My lights are connected to my Garmin, so when I turn my Garmin off, my lights turn off. I don't have to worry about that. But I charge my lights every night, whether I need it or not, just to be on the safe side. You'd rather have them charged and not need them, and need them and not charged. All right? And I believe that's it for the ABCs of a bike ride. Any questions?
Oh, let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Only thing when he said top charge, air pressure on professionals like 160. Tubulars are different.
Yes.
They're more high pressure. If you are riding a tubular tire, They're a little higher. They recommended you run them at 170. We can go up 200 with 170. It's hard to even find it. I'm the only one I know in our group is riding 2 so far. But if you decide to go on there, I was amazed too to find out. But I don't know where we get that soft from. I like my tires hard.
I like my hard too.
Because I want to ride fast.
Yeah, and that's all it is. Now, when speaking of riding fast, I notice a lot of you guys are comfortable up here in the horns. This is not where you control the bike, believe it or not. This is the least area of control on your bicycle. Down here is where you got the best control. It's a little uncomfortable and it takes getting used to. Once you get used to it, you will feel the difference, especially in cornering. Also, you'll notice the difference when you hit bumps. Up here, if you haven't noticed that you hit a bump, you kind of catch that. When you're down here, it barely budges. This is where you control the bike. This is where you get the best handling on your bike, okay? Where are we at on that? Because I gave y'all all of my sheets.
Oh, this one. The chain.
All right, so the bike size. Some of y'all borrow bikes from time to time. This is the tricky one. I don't recommend it, but my bike is fitted especially to me. I recommend if you're not fitted, you need to get fitted. I'm pretty sure you're fitted to your bike, and a couple of you others are. I know you got your bike in the shop right now. If you're not fitted to it, I recommend getting fitted to it. Reason being, you don't want your butt to hurt. And for the ladies and guys, you don't want the slug and you don't want the sore kitty. The slug is when it goes numb after you've been riding about 30, 40 miles because your seat's not positioned properly. You have sit bones. Your sit bones should sit right about here. And if part of your butt cheek ain't hanging off the back of the seat, you're not sitting on it right. That's just the rule of thumb. Because your sit bones, I wish I had a woman thing.
Don't go by how big your booty is.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with your booty.
If it's hanging over, that ain't your bone.
All right. So,
my seat ain't no good.
as a rule of thumb, if you'll notice here, it's about 1 inch to 2 inches. Yeah, actually turn it that way.
If you want to turn this, okay, got it.
No, they need to see the front.
Okay, got you.
You want 1 inch to 2 inches. Don't look at me like that. You want roughly 1 inch to 1.5 inches between this bar and your privates. Mm-hmm. When you're sitting on this bad boy, you want to hold it from the ridge. Hold it like that. For me, as you'll notice, well, I'll go this side. My right knee, left knee, isn't a full 6 o'clock. It's slightly angled. That's about where you want to be when you're riding your bike. If it's all the way out, your seat's too high, and you work too hard, and you're working leg muscles that you don't intend to don't intend to work. Mm-hmm. Yesterday when we were riding, I kept trying to get some of y'all get your butts out that seat coming up the hill sometimes. Reason being, you work different muscles going up a hill. If you stand up, your legs don't get as fatigued as fast. Yeah, you have the front quads, side, and back. When you stand your butt up, you give them front quads a break and focus more in here. And that booty meat. And your privates need a break. Mm-hmm. It's only 30 seconds, but it needs a break. You got that blood right. Circulating back through there. Go ahead, you about to say.
Well, it's even when you're standing up, it's good because you're rolling for distance. You got to rest that butt bone. You got seat bone. But when you go up the hill, it works other muscles too in your body. And you think it's just your legs now. When you go up the hill, it works the rest of your body. So they, what is that? What's that website? If she got that, she said I could have. Another thing, when you shifting gears, like going up a hill and you want to go down, like need momentum. Don't stop and pop your chain and pop the gear because you're going up here and you're already in hard gear and you're trying to go to easy and go pop. You hear that pop? Your gear is supposed to be smooth if you dance. Yeah. It should be going to gear like click, click. It's smooth.
Seriously.
You see
even going up a hill.
Uphill or down. When you start hearing a pop, and that means you too much torque, too much tension on that chain, and that's how you want change in your sprockets.
Yep.
Yes. So, okay, I've been in a situation where we have stopped. Okay, I'm in a hard gear.
Yep.
And then we stop.
Yep.
And then when we stop, you got to pull a heel.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation?
You have to change your gears.
You got to change it down low.
You got to change it down low.
You got to go to that heel.
One thing, if you haven't noticed with me, if it's my ride, you hear me yell two things. Don't stop on the curb and don't stop on the hill. Damn it, keep pushing.
That's right.
But I'm saying sometimes we have to.
No, we don't.
No, I'm saying we in traffic. We ride downtown.
Okay,
sometimes-
here's what you do. Here's what you do. When you know and you see traffic, first thing you do is just like your car. You gotta slow down. You click down.
Yeah.
You know you're getting ready to stop. You got enough time when they say stop or slow, and you know you're going slow, it's time to click. You prepare yourself. I tell Mel, we come to the light, and she forgets to go into easy gear. I said, baby, you can't make that light. We're trying to make it. You need to click down so you can have that burst of speed in case a car is coming, so you can get out the way. Yeah. So as soon as you know you see a hill or you see the crowd say stop, slow down, whatever,
top of the hill.
Start clicking down,
Yeah.
so you can get prepared. If you know they're starting to slow down, you can always go up, but don't get to that point and then you stuck there, because I've done it and trying to start off. You know how
Boy, yeah, man.
you know, and me, I always try to beat the cars coming. I don't wait on the lights so long. I did it one time in hard gear. Them cars were coming over here. You talking about a brother trying to get across there quick, because they moving. And when you got that easy gear, you can go ahead and go across. But anytime you see a hill, like tomorrow when you're riding with us, and you see a hill or you see somebody get ready to stop, remember to always change your gear. Make your gears part of you, just like the car. It works automatically. It's just automatic with me now. You know, I know when they say slow down, stop, stop in the road, you know to start clicking them gears. You know to start working your gears.
Now,
Unless I'm on a steep incline, I'm not changing from this one.
Most guys aren't.
That's me. But I also teach, like when I talk to my wife, no, we go down on this one on heels to help her legs, to strengthen her legs. So on the big one is the more power. That's all my power. Big and little. That's all the power. Little and big. That's the easiest you can go.
Okay.
go ahead.
What if you got 3 cars?
Oh, that's the sissy card. He got a sissy card.
That ain't the bitch. That's like the bitch baby
I got three.
sissy.
That's the sissy card.
Hey.
Nobody uses that.
When you said the third one.
Nobody.
He do. Look at him. He said bullshit.
It's supposed to be in the big.
Yeah.
No. You're supposed to be where you're comfortable at, so you maintain tension when you pedal.
What I'm saying is,
Okay.
what I'm saying, I'm saying I have 3, so I should concentrate on the second one and the
Don't listen to people that tell you don't
Okay.
understand that.
Because I'm saying
Either way.
don't ever use the bottom.
No,
I'm not saying don't ever
Yeah.
use it. What I'm telling you is that newer bikes aren't even made with
Yes.
it.
They don't make them with 3.
You only get
No
2
more. You
or
only
1.
get 2.
Okay,
Oh,
I got
one.
an old bike.
Yeah,
I got
one in the house now. It's got 3.
That camera deal I ride, it got 3.
Yeah.
You know, and believe me,
Go ahead.
if the hill too steep, I'd be like,
Oh, I've
hi.
sissed it. Yeah, like you said, I've sissed it before.
So when I go in there, I say,
Yeah. You ain't had no hill yet to say hey. You just
Y'all
said-
really haven't.
Yeah, you ain't had no hill like that yet. So you were telling me yesterday, hey.
Go ahead, man.
So the big
The big card.
that's the right side. That,
No, man.
No.
The right controls everything in the rear.
This controls your
just
back
goes to the
cassette.
back.
Mhm.
So that one, okay.
Left controls the
So
front.
that, okay.
Yep.
So, and you said, and the bigger that this one is, that's the harder the gear. The lower, the smaller is the easier.
The smaller is the harder.
Small is always the hardest, man. In the back, easy to the hardest.
Oh, so this is what makes it easy.
Right.
Yes, these two makes the difference between
Okay.
these. Okay? Got it?
You know what I?
It may not be on the paper, but okay, when do you know, when are you supposed to oil your chain? Because when I was in Memphis, I ain't never chains need oiling, but if all you need is oil your chain. But how do you know when you're supposed to put oil and how often do you put oil in your chain? I ain't.
All right. So that's a multi-pronged answer, believe it or not.
Yeah.
If you ride the Silver Comet a lot, you should oil your chain every 3rd ride because of the amount of trash that's on the Silver Comet. From the dirt and debris and stuff and the wet spots on the Silver Comet, you will need to oil your chain. If you look at your chain right now, looking at my chain, it's just right with the amount of oil.
How you can tell it's the right amount?
Because I wish Frank had his bike. It looked like a well-greased scalp when it's too much oil. It should be just enough to where it's not, you don't feel it like, it doesn't feel like hair grease in your hands, okay? It feels like Murray's grease. Remember Murray's wave grease? You can just barely feel it. That's how these chains should feel. In Georgia, this is considered a dry state. You want to use a dry lubricant on your chain. When you lube your chain, you lube the chain, not the cassette, not the cog. You put it on the chain and spin it and let the chain do the work for putting it on there. I had some cleaning kits. I was going to show you guys how to do that. I'm going to have to show you Wednesday because Amazon just delivered them today.
I got a cleaning kit.
But yeah, I have some sprays, some chains. It's chain oil and cleaner. I should have bought that can. The new thing they got is
too much oil.
Yes. Exactly. That's when you know you got too much.
and that's why you need to use what I'm talking about. It's called oil and cleaner. It's a green solution, comes in a tall can.
How do you know when it's dry? When your chain is making a lot of noise when you're shifting between gears, that's when you know it's dry. Like he said, shifting these gears should be as smooth as butter. But when you hear, that's because the chain is dry and you're forcing it to go. It's metal against metal, you guys. You got to remember that. Everything on here except for the seat and the tires are metal. So you got metal against metal, and without that lubrication, you get that popping noise when you're changing between your gears, and you shouldn't. On the flip side, too much lubrication will put this bad boy back here where the dork ring used to be. Some of y'all still have your dork ring, as they call it. That's why they put that on there, to keep the chain from popping off going this way. Then down here at the bottom, it rarely happens, but it can pop off at the bottom. Frank knows first, not Frank.
It
Maurice
off
knows first.
sometimes. Yeah.
Back here, it's hard as hell to get that damn chain from back there.
Yeah.
But that can come from over oiling and a poorly adjusted derailleur. Your rear derailleur is what controls where this chain goes up and down this spectrum here. All right. Any other questions on?
So you say the left controls the
Front.
the front one, which is the big one.
The cogs, front cogs.
Front car.
So the bigger the car,
controls a cassette.
The right, and just as a rule of thumb, the right controls everything in the rear.
Everything in the rear.
The
And
back
left
brakes
controls
and the cassette. The left controls front brakes and the front cog.
derailleur.
Yeah, the front derailleur.
Uh,
Right rear, just remember that if you don't remember nothing
Yes.
else.
So you know this side is all back, this side is all. And when you stop, please use both of them at the same time.
Feather them in both of them.
Because see, you'll wear your tires out, or I see some people use the front. You got some good brakes and you ride.
And throw your ass right over the top of it.
Seen it.
Oh, especially.
Yeah.
so just one more thing. So the bigger the car, the easier it is. So
Yes.
on the back or the front.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you don't call this a car. You call this a what?
I don't know.
A cassette.
Or cassette.
That's right.
That's right.
And you have one, two, okay, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She has 10 on here. So she has a 20 speed.
20
she
speed.
multiplied the 2 by that. So you know she got, if she going up at her top, she can go down 9. She can come up 9.
So
You understand?
when
So
you
she,
say-
you ain't got no, she was talking about how what gear you know you in. You got to start counting. If you're in your top gear and you need to go down, it's just a number. You don't need to have no, on some of them you see they give you numbers. On a real biker, you don't need no numbers. You start riding, you can click and go up and down, and you'll know which one you're on. When you start riding,
20 is the fastest.
huh?
20 is the fastest.
Yes, that's the torque, that's the hard.
All right. Any other questions regarding the gears, how to change them?
You got a chain clean?
She got it all here.
Girl,
The whole 9.
that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Spend a little more time on that. So now.
She asked for a solution. I think I got it.
Okay. So now I also wanted to talk about your saddlebags. I can't remember who it was yesterday, but somebody's saddlebag was on the back of their bike, and it looked like that. I know damn well she ain't had nothing in it.
She was riding naked. And when I tell y'all, we never ride naked. She was butt naked.
I got behind. I said, I know it can't be nothing in there. It can't be. So, as a rule of thumb, depending on how you ride and what you ride, there are certain recommendations as to what should be in your saddlebag. In my saddlebag, because one, I have quick release front and rear tire, so I don't carry a tool kit, if you will, to take my tire off because I don't need it. It's quick release. I flip the switch on the back side there, and it releases the tire and it take it out. These, and I'm gonna let Reggie take over here in just a second, are levers to take your tire off. Some tires like mine are tight as hell, and you will fight to get them off. This is my CO2 to pump my tires up should they go flat. And of course, a spare tire. And who gave this to me yesterday? I usually always have one. This is just a.
I
had that was the first one I had. Yep.
Yep. This is just for your CO2s for your air. This should be in the back of your bag. She also has 2 cylinders, so she'll have air. I recommend you carry at least 2.
At least 2.
You know, at least 2, because I found out carrying 1 when I first learned how to do it.
Yeah,
I messed up.
I
ain't had another one. I learned on the first one, but I ain't had another one since I learned how to do it. So at least carry 2 with you, and once you learn, you still have 1 for somebody else, okay? And then the second thing, even though you have inner tubes, have patches. Because if that tube blow out, guess what? You can patch up, and with these new kind of patches, ain't no scraping, ain't no scrubbing. You have the little metal thing, you take this little green thing out, put it in that hole, you're done. That's the new age technology. I like those better. Because remember, back in the day, you used to have to scrub and put some glue on there and put some fire on there, then put it on there and hope it stick. Okay.
I personally, I put the blown tire in my satchel, put the new tube on, keep moving, and patch it up when I get home.
No, what I'm saying, if you have another flat.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's in your bag. Have this in your bag, because you can't wait to get home and patch it up. If you have another flat, I've seen it happen. They changed the tire, they kept riding, had another flat. That's gonna help you. Now, a lot of people, when they get a flat, they throw the other one away. I keep mine. Okay, yeah. Make sure you have an inner tube. Have an inner tube, not just for yourself, for your fellow riders. Because when we was on the trail and Rod, tire blew out, and we had to go, I think like 5 miles to go. I said, I'll ride back and buy an inner tube. He didn't have one. We went like 0.3 miles around the corner, I did. And it was 2 old white ladies that said, oh, you need a tube? I stopped. I said, yes. And they said, well, here, take this. How much? No, don't give us nothing. So I rolled back and they said, you came back that fast? I said, yeah, man, I was going like 30. They was like, man, you was fast. And then they kept believing that I wanted to tell them the truth. But always have, never go naked. Here's another thing. Your multi-tool, your hex tool, with those 2 pieces he was talking about to change your tire, they come in the package. Everything's here what you need, okay? This is, your bag will be able to fit it. Here's your chain remover or chain popper. We have problems with chains sometimes. And I had a broke chain, and the reason I know about this, Mel and I on the tandem, we didn't have no one of these, we didn't have no links. Now said when our chains broke and we didn't have a link, we could have took this tool right here, popped one of the other ones, and made this work. But said, we got a link. These little babies right here, at least have one. This is a link. It's a chain link. They real easy. They go together. With your chains break, you can put it in there and just, you can go. We did, I think, less than 2 minutes. I had my chain on and rolling.
Yeah, you did.
So you want to have, you might not have to use it maybe way down the line, but I know not having this is because Mel had to paddle us. I don't know how many miles back from the John Lewis ride. My chain pop on the tandem, and only part of the bike worked was the back part, and Nell was the pedal. And what happened was we was going uphill, and people started hollering at me saying, "Why you got that woman pedal?" And she couldn't be the captain, so I made a joke with it. I said, "See, you got people hollering at me, Mel, hurry up!" You know, and they was upset at me, but we was laughing about it. So make sure you never ride naked. His stuff is different from what goes in this bike.
It's 3 different
sets. And everything can go in your bag. This gonna go on your bike. It'll go on your bike. So everything here can fit in your bag. Okay? So please, I advise y'all never ride naked.
I went to Reggie class earlier. He showed us how to do M2, but I mean, if I had that chain on by myself, I ain't want to do it.
Well,
if you had that what?
I've never seen.
And we're going to show you guys how to do that. Not today.
Okay, I know. But here's the thing. There's a lot of people out there that do know how to do it. When you ride in group, I'd rather for you to have one, because when we went out there, I never knew how to do it. The guy said, you got to do it. I was like, what do? That was new to me. He said, yeah, you got to link. I had to learn. But if I had it, these guys was on that trail. They had broke chains.
Yeah,
I got
especially
this.
on the trail,
They know how to
everybody
do
got
it.
everything.
So what you do, if you got the tools and the parts,
Yeah.
and a pretty lady like you, they be like, I help. Okay,
Yeah.
calm down, stand in line.
Y'all will always get help,
You'll
ladies.
always get help. But so if you have the stuff,
You know,
to do it.
they are very helpful.
Yeah.
So, yes, ma'am.
And I was gonna say, it feels good to be able to help somebody. You know, if you
Yeah.
have something to help a fellow cyclist,
All right.
Oh, are we gonna do this? Put that on the chain.
Sure. I'll let you get ready for that.
Well, you won't let me do it. I thought you were gonna.
Oh,
I want to see how it worked too.
So,
I never used one, but hey.
so as I promised, I was doing 3 giveaways, and my first giveaway I'm gonna give to my man Maurice because of the troubles he had yesterday. Not Maurice. Jeff. I'm looking at him in the face. I can't think of name to save my life.
Jeff wasn't there yesterday.
Jeff wasn't there yesterday, but Maurice was there, but he looked like Maurice. And then we got Tiffany over there too.
He really. Maurice was there the other day.
Yeah, Maurice was there.
Oh, I missed. I'm checking to see how you doing.
He doing all right. He had to drop his bike off at the shop.
No, I'm talking about he was having a problem. Maurice. Was
Oh no,
there.
he's coming through his recovery. His chemo.
Okay,
Yeah, he's doing
yeah,
good.
yeah.
He told me he's gonna get back into it a little more.
Okay, yeah, I talked to him the other day. I didn't
So
know.
hopefully this will motivate you to come out a little more and ride with us some more.
Look at you.
Okay. A tire repair kit.
A tire repair kit. Yeah.
And
Well, for myself, I've been riding nigga.
He been riding naked.
What you got
A
there?
chain. What?
A tire tackle?
that's everything pretty much that Reggie spoke of with the pieces to change your chain, as well as a pressure gauge to check the pressure in your tires. And there's a couple other things in there. Now I don't know your name. What's your name?
Jackie.
Miss Jackie. And this is for you. You
See, she had it caught.
Hey, pop open.
Frank, she had it caught.
Frank, you gonna play for the fast. Frank, you play for the fast.
Say that's dirty. That's no down. Man, leave my staffers alone. I am. Well, you and Frank on the one. Hey, Reggie. Oh, okay.
Hey, Silverback.
Well, how you gonna get rid of him instead of mine? It's time for him to go too. All right.
There you go.
I know, right?
Yeah. No, I was trying to open the slide open. You gotta come over. You gotta put your change on.
So, here's the thing.
Yes.
Although those are nice little gifts, the ones I really wanted came today. They'll be at my house, so if you join me on Wednesday, I'll be giving away those.
Oh, no.
What about Thursday?
She's right. You wrong for that because I can't be there Wednesday.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right.
We'll strike a match for you. You got it on there, boss?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's sit up here so they can see. Yeah. You can turn it upside down. When you do this, yeah. Okay, I'll show it to you. But when you do this, it's best to do it upside down. Let me take it out first. Let's turn it upside down so it'll be better. I'll show it to you.
Put it on that bike rack.
Turn it around.
Yeah, let me back on that.
Yeah, because I want to leave you on that side. Huh? Bring it on to yourself.
Okay.
Mine do too.
You slide. Take it off. You take it, sit it in there, put it on top, just like it is, and slide it back in place. You can take your tool, put it on there, and what you would do, you have your solution in there. And clean it and oil that chain. That's it. That's good. And you just clean and oil your whole
Yeah,
chain.
just the solution goes
What's the
in there.
solution inside? It could be full all in here, because this little, what the inside look like, I'm gonna show you. One of your bearings. It comes right through.
Yeah.
Stick it through.
You
Who said ooh? Now, when you put your solution in there, you see how the change goes through those he's right in the little little sponge like there. So it'll roll through there when you turn your change and it'll clean and oil your change at the same time. This is good to have. I'm gonna give you one. Thank you for bringing that to class.
Show up Wednesday. Might be a surprise for you.
That's right.
Show up Wednesday. Who's never taken their tire off?
Why you looking at me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That real
That's
thing?
how we look.
Either or. You never taken your tire off? What kind of bike you got? Do you have a quick disconnect or
That's a quick disconnect.
Come on up here and take this tire off. With the little thing on the lever on the side.
Let's put it on the right.
We take the front off.
We need that rear tire.
It's the same thing. Ain't a whole lot to it.
The rear is the one I gotta change.
Yeah.
The rear.
She said the rear she got to change.
So if you notice, for those of y'all bumping your gums, they never took a tire
Listen
off.
up, hey class. Somebody gonna take
turning.
away gifts,
There you
teacher.
go. Pick it up.
Put her in the back. Your friend next to you.
Right there you go.
Okay.
Now-
Here's what you forgot to do.
So, listen. He gonna, there you go. Now, it's a little bit more difficult to take it off when the tire got air in it, especially with these clinchers.
Yeah.
These are called clincher brakes. I have discs. Those are clinchers.
Okay.
It ain't no different. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna show you some on the clincher brakes.
You gotta open it up.
Yeah. You gotta open it. They'll make them now so you don't have to, where it's got air in there. You need to open them up.
Yep.
You open them up, they're open. Now, my other bike got the little clamps on it, but these right here, you can leave the air in there. If you got air, you need to change your tire, open, and when you put them back on, make sure you close them so we can have that closeness, okay? Now, his is different, but I'm glad they make it like this so you can pop it, because I used to have to let my air out to take the tire.
Show the difference between,
No, I mean, ain't no difference other than the fact that, and I'll do the real tire.
okay, because you got this, okay?
No big difference, all jokes aside.
Let me get this first. Wanna sit up too?
Ain't no difference.
Oh, he's got his little garment thing.
Yeah, you guys are gonna.
Nice.
I see.
Ain't no different. Twisted.
It was different.
No.
I've never seen that cat.
Mine
Oh,
all
it
the
comes,
way
the
out.
whole thing come out.
Oh, that's what it did.
That's what the guy in Memphis broke. Oh, can I see
The
that?
whole shaft comes all the way out.
Okay.
He
what
broke the
happened
whole
is-
thing?
So once it come out, you can check it come out?
Yes.
No.
If my tire fall off,
That's what happened in the, I've never seen this kind of guy. What happened in the wreck in Memphis, this piece right here, popped out and I didn't know how it worked. So that whole part, he couldn't put it back.
mine's the shaft.
So go ahead and finish taking it out.
Oh, well, I mean, here ain't nothing to it. Yeah, ain't nothing to it. Here.
And another thing too, for the one that he did,
Other way, other way.
yeah, that Will did, to make sure we have to put it on the same way, right? The same side. Like this,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
which side it has to be on, is it?
Someone else told you that.
I can't do this myself. I'm nervous. Sit this on. Nervous the cat's down. A bunch of rocks.
I can't see.
Yeah, this is keep going. Oh, no, this is some stuff.
All right, so
So yours is
now I just
open.
gotta see what I can get.
Right.
This doesn't come out.
No, it doesn't come out.
Easy.
I would mess my brakes up intentionally so I can show y'all that sound, but it's more of a pain.
I wouldn't. I know this.
You know what I'm saying? It's more than a pain.
Hey.
Does it have to be in a certain gear before you take it off?
Not really, but it helps to have it in the easiest gear.
You know why? Because putting it back on is harder when it's in the harder gear because
Yes.
it's trying to get up.
Tension, yeah.
But if it's in the easy gear, it goes in that much easier.
Hey, Chad, what's feel bad?
You good?
What's the difference between disc brakes and regular brakes?
I mean, okay, so it's really no difference other than the fact that disc brakes are what we currently have on our cars. And you have plates,
Yeah.
asbestos plates, and I mean, they look just like our brakes on the cars against this metal drum here that you see on my bike. Now, as somebody else has indicated, I think it was Gigi, disc brakes will literally stop on a damn dime. They will throw your ass off the bike. That's the biggest difference I found. And they're safer to ride in the rain.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Safer to ride in the rain.
This don't come up. This don't come up. It's not like his.
Oh, you took the,
Yeah,
what's
that
it
don't,
called?
that don't come up.
Yeah, it's safer to ride in the rain because understand that your
No, that's it. Take that off.
hang on guys,
No, take that off. That's all.
the clincher brakes
Yes, that's right.
are grabbing this and it's rubber to metal, and once that water gets in between it,
Yes.
it's harder to grab.
There you go.
And that's all. That's the biggest difference between the two. You have old heads that'll tell you they won't trade their clinchers for nothing. And you have some of them tell you disc brakes the best thing since sliced bread. And I own 3 bikes with clinchers and 1 with disc. And depends on the weather, I pull this bad boy out. But it'll stop.
So this is better than the rain.
Huh?
No, let me tell you, the disc brakes will stop on a dime. They will stop. But I learned in Memphis, if I have a problem with these brakes and one go out, I still can roll. If you bend,
If they lock or bend,
if
yeah.
bend, that guy was out. When he had that wreck, he was done. He only went 30 miles. He had a wreck, it hit the ground. That disc bends, you're done. Where if these, you could just, unless your wheel bend.
Yeah.
That's the only downfall about this. I love this because they will stop on a dime, but if you ever have a problem with them, that's hard to trying to get them because you have to imagine that's tight air and it's got to be straight. It's got a little bend in it. It ain't like balancing the wheel with the brakes. You got that space. That little disc, and so that's the only downfall. But they don't happen a lot. I guess somebody gotta hit it or see the fall that I had. And the damage that he had here, it literally bent it over. So it wouldn't even roll through the disc.
All right.
So is it true that the disc brakes can also be a little dangerous for somebody who aren't experienced, especially when it comes to falling?
No.
Like, because
Sit this
something
in and
about
push that.
disc brakes is you
Sit
have
there,
that
sit
fall,
there.
the way
Push the whole-
brakes
push the
are
whole
positioned, they can cut.
If you fall and somehow manage to put your leg in front of that disc brake, I don't know how the hell you manage that. Because I mean, you gotta look at where my brakes are.
You wanna move it to what? See that? You gotta get the brakes.
Is this one right?
Yeah, open.
This is the rotor. Look at where it's at, and that's the one in the back.
There we go.
I don't know how in the hell you would fall to get this cut up on your leg, but you're gonna need more than Jesus if you manage that.
No, it's not.
But I love
It's
them.
see that?
I love them. I was skeptic at first, but I love them. I gotta be
I
honest
like
with you.
them. I want them. How about my next bike?
No,
Or you can just move
you
the chain
can,
like this.
but
I'm not saying
and
have
what it
no
would cost you to convert, you might as well buy the bike. And this is, you know,
So you can just,
I'm not gonna put it out there like that, but an entry level bike with disc brakes costs you about $800.
No, not that one.
They have the Checkpoint LA, and it'll cost you about $800. And it's the reason why I like the Checkpoint because you can use it in gravel and on the road, and it's damn near identical to this bike. Just that it has a wider tire on it for rolling and to keep you from hitting them rocks too hard.
Is that what Precious had on Saturday? Is that what Precious
Yes.
had on Saturday?
Checkpoint.
It was nice.
Yeah.
She had a nice bike. She had a really nice bike.
All right.
And
You can have it later on.
all right.
Now, you got all the way around?
Yeah.
Wait. Make sure you get it out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now take it and pull the tube out from this end. Turn it up, turn it straight up. Reach up on there and pull that tube out. No, here, on the top. So yeah, and you don't pull it from that end. You pull it from the top to 6 o'clock, that's right.
Nobody in their group has a route download?
Now turn it back up, 12 o'clock. Yeah. And you can lift this back like this.
I thought Chan was 20.
Pull it on out. There you go. Get your other top, lady.
No, I didn't get lost because I was with some ladies that ride down there.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. Flower child getting her time changed. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, don't touch that. You leave that alone. You ain't ready for that yet. Don't start messing. That's how you gonna break it already. I don't want you to break it. I'll show you.
Where each other's emergency contacts, and they only had one emergency contact.
What you want to do is just start. What I do, I turn around to be like this, and I start tucking in all the way around. Tucking in. Don't close the tire yet. Tuck the tube in. It comes out the leg. Yeah. Tuck it in all the way around. Go take the same keep going. There you go. Might be easy to tilt it up some, like so there.
Just tucking it into the rim.
Yeah.
Tucking it in the rim.
Into the tire, into the rim, either one. As long as on the, not stick it on the outside of the rim. Yeah, tuck it in, tuck it into the rim. There you go. What you want to do? Stop here.
Yeah, you gotta remember, councilman, they wanted you to put them 59.
Take your hand, spread them out. There you go. Keep it going. No.
So what do you have in this point?
Huh?
We're rolling it back in.
She put it back. She's seating it back in so she can close it up. Now see how that's sticking out? You want to just stick it in. Don't push it. Take the tire. Take the finger. Just touch the tire. You push the tire down. Now since you got all that there, you can see where you're going. You don't look back here, it's gonna run. If you keep pushing that way, you're gonna have to do it like this. Look, you have to, when you take it close, you have to come like this. If you keep pushing this way, it's gonna keep going around the way. So you have to take your hands and go into it, come like that. Now watch this. When I do it, I go push. See my left hand too? Push. And then come out.
I need to download the Garmin.
Push. I still hold this side.
What is it, Canoe?
I push. It's come
Right,
like that.
download the right now to your computer.
Tuck in. Push. And then you're gonna be able to use your tools in this. So just keep pushing until you get like that, and then when you get hard, you're gonna use your tools.
What's that?
You at that point now, you can use your tools. Yeah. So me, I keep pushing.
No, let me put it up.
Okay. Take your tool, and you're gonna turn it this way and lift up. See the little bump right there?
Tell me more about that.
But my first track I got, I bought it, it was crazy.
Hold that.
Okay.
$300. Matter of fact,
There you
I
go.
ride it Wednesday.
Hold it. Just leave it like that. Get down.
Just as nice as that, just that it don't have this.
Just leave it like that. Stick it in there until.
Yeah, they find
There
it.
you go. They do.
It's gonna hold this.
No, you ain't gotta hold
Don't you buy another bike.
You already got it in there.
65 miles.
Just stick it up on that little hump.
Oh, now.
If you need another bike.
So when you wait for how
I'm gonna show you an easy way to do it. Watch this. See this? Take your push down. You see?
do you wish to lock
Because this is a wire in there. And it's gonna be hard. So even with this over like that,
Take the what?
take that, put it in there.
information on it.
I seen something like
Yeah,
that.
come on. I don't You do. You already got that?
I'm trying to do it.
Yeah.
But he gotta get a $3,000 bike.
He will.
Oh, I get a what? She said
There you
$3,000
go.
bike. Yeah, I saw $3,000 bike.
There you go. Check that one out.
Look, check
Just push it in.
it out. If I get me a nice bike, maybe I'll
Now, take your take that.
No, it's not.
That's still the keep screwing on. No, that's that shit.
I want a better bike.
I was thought it was a bike ride.
I was as a bike ride.
Yeah.
And then I noticed
Okay,
everybody.
got it tight.
They make
Now you want to take it and just screw it up enough where you can feel it. Just move a little bit. See, you don't want. And then you're gonna screw it back. Okay.
Girl?
Hey guys, listen up. Even though we have a pump, I'm gonna show y'all how to use a CO2. We're gonna use a CO2 on this one. Even though we have a pump, so I have a pump, but I want to use a CO2 to show y'all how these work. Okay. Hold the time.
keep that thought.
So,
So where do you get that?
Show them how you put it on.
I'll put it on the group.
it's matter of fact, it's on the page.
It's on the page, yeah.
All of it's on the page, but it's so far back. We got to redo it. It's so
That's why I
far
said I'll
back.
pop it on the group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you show us how you got to that point?
What point?
Putting that on there.
Okay, this right here, this is the holder for the CO2, this is the CO2. This is what we're gonna use. So we take it, we screw it to the hole. Make sure I got it off.
I'll see him. Gotta make that mistake.
Yeah,
What, say that again? What did you
make sure I have it off. This nozzle, make sure it's off.
Okay.
I don't know if that's off or not. I know when I turn it. That's off. So now I screw it all the way in. What happens?
There's a little tip that pierces through that.
A needle with a hole in it and pierce through the CO2.
So if it's on, it'll explode.
Yeah, that's right. No, it won't explode. The air start coming out.
Yeah.
And everything is gonna explode. So now that I have it all the way in there, it's activated. It's ready. So once I turn this nozzle, air coming out. So what we want to do?
Don't you have a holder or something? Because it's just gonna get ice cold.
Yeah, you can have a. She's talking about the holder.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a man. I can handle.
But
It comes with a holder. It comes with a little styrofoam holder because these freeze up and they get real cold. But 9 times out of 10 we have our gloves on, and she right. I need to have one on, but I don't have it with me. But I'm good. I'll just have my wife to hold me.
It's like that boy and he
Where
sucked his
does
tongue out
does
that
this
hole.
need to be open right there?
Yeah,
Or
it's
does
open.
it?
It's open.
Oh, okay.
What I need to do.
Show them how
I'm gonna show.
Do you need that adapter for that or not?
No, not. I need
How do you know that it's
I had my
open?
$300 bike.
I'll show it to you. Hold on. Let me get to that point.
It's at the very tip.
Okay, here we go.
Show them how to.
Okay, I am. Miss, you don't get in my class, I'm gonna put you in the back of the class.
So now, okay, so it
Okay,
gotta come up.
what they was asking about having this valve stem open. And what flower child had, this little tip is the valve stem, it had broken off. There's 2 pieces, a big piece and a little valve stem. That goes down in, that holds your air. When the air comes in, it presses, it pushes the valve stem up to keep the air from coming out. Hers was gone. So what we do, when we get ready to put air in there, we loosen it. Not all the way, just enough to push that little tip. You take it out too far, and that's how that little piece of brass, they real soft, and you bend it a couple times, it's gonna break off. So try not to bend them. As soon as you put the air in, screw them back down so they be tight. Okay? So now you hold it tight. So now y'all saw me put the air in the cartridge into the holder. Put the holder down.
Screw it on.
And y'all heard you said screw it on?
Oh, it's a screw in?
Righty tighty.
You have some that are pushed. This is a screw. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Now y'all see it's on there. Now all we gotta do is just cut it on like we cut on the nozzles. Look at that. That's it. It's tight.
Yeah.
Cut it back off.
You can
You can
put
feel
too
it.
much. And
Yeah, you
all
could.
that.
It's enough, really. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something. What's wrong with your stuff? Her tongue still coming up? Yeah. You got a bad tooth?
Don't tell me that. Oh, Lord Jesus.
She got a bad tooth? Let's see.
It's a brand new tube, so it shouldn't be.
Some of them could be bad. Air still came out, didn't it? I heard it. Y'all hear it come out? We're gonna pump it up, but I want to show y'all it's not the CO2's doing this.
Oh. Hey.
All the CO2 is putting air in. That's it.
I'm trying to get.
But see, it's enough. It only holds enough for one tire, so you can't bust it. You can't blow your tire. No, you can't. No, you can't. Not with these.
Oh, he frustrated.
He was with a pump. He wanted to see a tool. That's okay. You might have to get you another two. That's okay. It happens.
It pops up.
But I noticed, you know, when I was pumped up with that CO2, I rolled on it, you know, yesterday, maybe 2 days later.
Well, you must have a bad. Only thing I use is CO2. I never had a problem. I like those unless I'm at home.
No, I'm saying I continued to ride, and you know, I came home. We probably riding on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I came back out that Thursday.
Oh, you shouldn't put air in your tire. It said check it every day. And some tires have to be put in every day. Every day. Every time you get on your bike, check you get on your check it because air will seep out some. So they recommend it on road bike every day. You have like with C4, she put air in her tire every day. When she took it out of the car, she air, even though air